Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like na 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 na. For my top 10, top 10, na 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 na. This one's for my top 10.
He's Gaur Gopal Das, and here's my take on his top 10 rules of success, volume 6. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Choose the right kind of pain.
Have any of you tried doing exercise, like a gym workout or jogging, and have realized that physical activity is painful? Have any of you, as school or college students, worked hard to get good grades and have realized that studying hard is painful? Ladies and gentlemen, pain is such an integral part of life that try as hard as we may, we just cannot escape. But we have a choice to accept the right kind of pain that initially hurts, but eventually heals, that initially is uncomfortable, but eventually unleashes our true potential, that initially we want to avoid, but eventually very happily accept. Or the wrong kind of pain, where the beginning is so much pleasure, but at the end, life is just a pity. Where in the beginning, you're so mesmerized, but at the end, just a royal mess. Where in the beginning, things are so comfortable, but at the end, endlessly complex. The pain of exercise or the pain of disease. Which one will you choose?
Rule number 2. Live your life.
मजा कब करे मरने के बाद? When will you relish your life? After death? In school you're struggling to get to 10. In 10th you're struggling to get to 12. In 12th you're struggling to get an admission. After admission you're struggling to get a job. After you get a job you're struggling to get a wife or a husband. After you get a wife or a husband you're struggling to give them up. True. Can you believe that? मैं आपको एक बात बताऊं ना, इस स्ट्रगल करते करते हम ना जीवन जीना ही भूल गए जी. Yeah, I'm just reminded of a very popular Bollywood song that I heard all the time in our child. It was one of the most popular number. हमारे रेडियो पे बजता रहता था. I can never forget the 2 lines of this song. ऐसे जीवन भी है जो जिए ही नहीं, जिनको जीने से पहले ही मौत आ गई. फूल ऐसे भी है जो खिले भी नहीं, जिनको खिलने से पहले फिजा खा गई. जिंदगी का सफर है कैसा सफर, कोई समझाना कोई जाना. मुर्दे जैसा मत जियो, मुर्दे जैसा मत जियो. Don't live the life of a corpse, just dragging yourself from one stage of life to another stage of life. From 10th to 12th, from 12th to engineering, from engineering to post-graduation to work, from work to bills, to marriage, to pay the bills, to pay the income taxes, to pay the fees. जिंदगी निकल जाएगी, पता लगेगा अरे जीना भूल गया. आपको पता लगेगा अरे मैं जीना भूल गया. Moving from one place to another in my life, I just forgot to live my life.
Rule number 3. Don't give up.
Life is exactly like a game. Why should we be discouraged when we have the support of meaningful friends and family? Why should we be discouraged when there are powers higher than us to help us. Why should we be discouraged when there's still life left? Why should we be discouraged when the final whistle has not been blown yet? The truth is that many of us blow the final whistle ourselves by giving up. But as long as there is life, nothing is impossible, and it's never too late. Next time you feel discouraged, just remember that the final whistle is not blown yet, and you can still give your best. Never give up, and you will soon reach there.
Rule number 4, walk your own path.
There were 5 men who got lost in a vast forest and were trying to find their way out. The first man said, I'm going to follow my intuition and go to the left. The second man said, I'm going to go right. I have a strong feeling that that's the way out. The third man said, well, I'm going to walk back on the same path that we took to reach here. I think that would be the safest. The fourth man said, I think we are absolutely on the right track already, and so I'm going to keep walking straight. After the 4 men took to the left, the right, back, and straight, respectively, the 5th man said, well, I don't know what to do. I think I'm just going to climb up this tall tree and get a better view around before I make up my mind. From the top of the tree, the 5th man could now see what was the shortest way to the village. Isn't it a fact that when you rise above a situation and see the larger picture, your decision seems to be the most sound? Well, yes indeed. But there's a slight twist to the story. The 5th man thought that the others should not have chosen the paths they did, and that he was right and they were wrong. And from one point of view, he was right. But from another perspective, I'm not too sure. Each man had chosen his own path and gained a different experience. It's not just about right or wrong, but about gaining your own experience and finding your own path. The man who went left found a long path, but at the end, well, it led him to the town. The man who went right had to fight a pack of wolves, but then he learned how to survive in the forest. The man who went backwards met another team of hikers, and guess what? He made new friends. The man who went straight found a farm and was hosted by the family for a couple of days before leaving for the village. And of course, the man on the tree found the shortest path. The journey enriched each one of them in their own unique way. Every decision offers us new experiences, which in turn adds to our maturity and wisdom, ultimately leading to our own growth. Isn't it said that life is like an exam? People fail because they try to copy others, not realizing that each one has a different question paper, a different test. Ladies and gentlemen, walk your own path while you also learn from the experience of others.
Also, if you want to learn how to have more confidence, check out my 254 Confidence series. It's free. The link is in the description below.
It's easy to make a buck, very hard to make a difference.
Rule number 5, shift your focus.
In a certain company, a young employee went to the HR head and said, I can't work here any longer. I want to quit this job. The HR head asked, "Why? Please tell me what happened." "The whole atmosphere is so toxic to my mind," replied the young man. "There are people here who are into a lot of politics. Then there are those who talk negative all the time. Some spend most of their time gossiping than working. I don't think I can handle this any longer." The HR head said, "Okay, but I have a request to make before you leave." The man asked, "Please tell me, what can I do for you, sir?" The HR head said, "I want you to do this one last thing sincerely. I want you to take a glass of water filled to the brim and walk around the office area 3 times without spilling a single drop of water on the floor. After that, you may leave the job if you wish." Though it sounded weird, the man thought it was just a matter of few minutes anyways. He took a glass full of water and walked 3 times around the office floor. He then came to the HR head to tell him that he was done. The HR head asked, "When you were walking around the office floor, did you see any employee speaking badly about another employee? Any gossips? Any disturbances?" The man replied, "No." The HR head further asked, "Did you see any employee looking at another employee in a wrong way?" "No," replied the young man. "And you know why?" asked the HR head. "Because you were focused on the glass to make sure you didn't tip over and spill any water." And the same goes with our life. When we focus on our priorities, we don't have the time to see all the drama around us, the mistakes of others, gossip, politics, negativity, etc. The fact is, anywhere we go, we're going to find toxic people. Change of job or change of situation doesn't necessarily ensure freedom from such people. We should certainly do what we can to positively change things around us. But when we know that we've done our best and things still remain more or less the same, we should shift our focus to the glass of water, our priorities, our growth, our excellence, and then we won't be as much affected by the negativity around us.
Rule number 6, change your perspective.
A man once called for his 4 sons and sent each of them to go and have a look at a pear tree that was a distance away from their home at their own convenience. The first son went to look at the tree in the winter season, the second in the spring, the third in summer, and the youngest son went to look at the tree in the fall. After a year had passed by, the father asked all 4 of them if they had visited the tree and if they could describe to him what they had seen. The first son said that the tree was ugly, bent, and twisted. The second son said, "Are you kidding? The tree was covered with fresh green buds and seemed so promising." Disagreeing with his 2 brothers, the third son said, "It was full of blossoms that smelled so sweet and looked so gracious. It is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life." The last son said, "They're all wrong, Dad. The tree was ripe and drooping with fruit. It was so full of life." The man explained to his sons that they were all correct because each one of them had seen only one season in the life of the tree. And then he taught them a very important lesson, that you cannot judge a tree or a person by only one season, by only one phase of their life. The essence of who they are can only be measured at the end, when all the seasons are up. If you give up when it's winter, you'll miss the promise of your spring, the beauty of your summer, and the fulfillment of your fall. Let's not allow the pain of one season to destroy the joy of the rest. Let's not judge life by one difficult season. Let's endure the difficult times with hope, and better times are sure to come sooner or later.
Rule number 7, accept making mistakes.
Possibly we could be making serious mistakes in our life, especially in the zeal of youth, in the super duper enthusiasm, zeal, energy. As young men and ladies, for those who are here, young ladies, we could be making some serious mistakes. But what's beautiful in life is, life allows us to correct those mistakes. है ना? पेंसिल के पीछे एक रबड़ आता है, रबड़ बोलते थे हम लोग स्कूल में, रबड़. And the first time we got this pencil with a rubber and a razor behind, it's nice, because mistakes can be erased. Some mistakes we have made can be corrected, some mistakes we can't. The consequences are so bad. We just have to now have the support system to handle it. Many mistakes can't even be reversible sometimes, isn't it? इसीलिए हम कई बार कहते हैं, हिंदी में कहते हैं हम कई बार, भूल करना ना प्रकृति है, स्वभाव है अपना. ऐसा कोई है जो भूल नहीं करता? मान लेना ना संस्कृति है. इट्स कल्चर टू एक्सेप्ट दैट आई मेड अ मिस्टेक. कई लोग तो मिस्टेक मानते ही नहीं है. दे डोंट एक्सेप्ट दे मेड अ मिस्टेक. भूल करना प्रकृति है, मान लेना संस्कृति है, और सुधार लेना प्रगति है. प्रोग्रेसिव लाइफ इज टू एक्सेप्ट दैट आई मेड अ मिस्टेक and to try and not repeat it again and improve in the area that we made a mistake.
Rule number 8, open your eyes.
Isn't it true that our birth is given to us by others? Our name given by others. Education given by others. Resources to live, higher powers given by others. Income earned by us but given by others. Love and respect given by others. Even our last rites are performed by others. After death, all our possessions will either be taken away by others or will go to others. Don't you think it's vanity to think that it's all done by me and it's all about me? Certainly, we do have our role in what we've done and achieved. Yet, when we start being conscious of the fact that so many have done and are doing so much for us, we start living in awareness. We experience humility, we feel grateful, and it is in that state of mind that we start dealing with others with great sensitivity, love, and respect, shifting our focus and attention from just we doing it all to many others contributing so much to our life can indeed transform the quality of our relationships. Won't life become so much more meaningful if we close our eyes and open our eyes to see what others have done for us?
Rule number 9, serve.
A beautiful, wealthy lady, gorgeously dressed, went to a happiness counselor and complained that she felt that her life was empty and had no meaning. The counselor patiently heard her out and then called over the old lady who cleaned the office floors. The counselor then said to the rich lady, "I'm going to ask this old lady to tell us how she found her happiness, and let's listen to her." So the old lady put down her broom, sat on a chair, and started telling her story. Within a short span of 3 months, I lost my husband who died of malaria and my only son who was killed in a car accident. Life became meaningless with nobody and nothing left. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I forgot the art of smiling. In fact, I even thought of ending my life. Then one evening, as I returned from work, a little kitten followed me home. I felt really sorry for the little one. Since it was cold outside, I decided to let the kitten in. I got some milk and the kitten licked the plate clean. Then it purred and rubbed against my leg. And for the very first time in months, I smiled. I wondered to myself if helping a little kitten could make me smile. Maybe doing something for people in need could make me happy as well. So the next day I baked some biscuits and took them to a neighbor who was sick and was in bed. Every single day, I tried to do something good for someone. It made me so happy to see them happy. Today, I do not know of someone who sleeps and eats better than I do. I found my happiness by giving it to others.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is focus on growing yourself.
When I was in school, a friend of mine borrowed my notebook to catch up with some of the classes he had missed, and not to my knowledge, copied one of the essays that I had written. He then used it for an essay competition, which he ended up winning. When I got to know, I felt cheated. I was very upset and felt that this was sheer stealing. Another time, a PhD student told me that her professor took her research paper and published it in his name. People working in the corporate world have told me that they found the reports they laboriously made stolen by their colleagues for their personal gain. Authors have often complained of plagiarism as well. And surely, whichever area of work it may be, we should deal with people who have such a corrupt, distorted mindset. At the same time, we should also remember that what we possess is way beyond an essay, way beyond a research paper or a report. A bird once asked a honeybee, "You work so hard, you toil so much, you put so much effort and energy to make and store honey, and then a man comes and steals it. Do you not feel sad?" The honeybee gave a fantastic reply. "Yes, I do feel sad at that moment. But then I remind myself that the only thing a man can steal from me is my honey. He can never steal the art of making honey that I possess." Again, We certainly need to deal with such cheating in a practical way, but we also need to be aware that people can at best copy our creation, not our creativity. They can at best steal our technique, not our talent. They can imitate what we do, but cannot take away our ability to inspire. Which is why I say, focus on and grow that which no one can steal, and let everything else simply be a manifest result of it.
Now, I've got a special bonus clip from Gaur Gopal Das on how to find your inner drive that I really think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Let's go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Number 1, where do you need to most focus on growing yourself? Number 2, how can you better serve somebody this week? And number 3, where do you need to just accept making mistakes?
एक बार एक बच्चा स्कूल से लौट कर आया और उसने अपनी माँ को टीचर ने दी हुई एक चिट्ठी दी। जब माँ ने चिट्ठी पढ़ ली तब बच्चे ने माँ से पूछा, चिट्ठी में क्या लिखा है माँ? माँ ने बच्चे से कहा, बेटा टीचर ने चिट्ठी में लिखा है, मैडम आपका बेटा बहुत ज़्यादा बुद्धिमान है। हमारे पास ऐसा कोई टीचर नहीं जो इतने प्रतिभावान बच्चे को पढ़ा पाए। बेहतर होगा कि आप इसके प्रशिक्षण की व्यवस्था कहीं और करें। बरसों बाद जब माँ का देहांत हो गया, ये बच्चा जो अब एक बहुत मशहूर वैज्ञानिक बन चुका था, माँ के अंतिम संस्कार के लिए आया। सारी विधियों के पूर्ण होने के पश्चात वैज्ञानिक महोदय अपनी माँ के घर गए और वहाँ टेबल की ड्रॉवर में उन्हें सालों पुरानी वो चिट्ठी मिली। जैसे वो इस चिट्ठी को पढ़ रहे थे, उनकी आंखों से आंसू बहने लगे। चिट्ठी में लिखा था, मैडम आपका बेटा 1 नंबर का बुद्धू है। हम इसे सिखाकर तंग आ चुके हैं। हम इसे स्कूल से निकाल रहे हैं। बेहतर होगा कि आप इसे घर पे ही सिखाएं। आंखों से बहते आंसुओं को पोंछते हुए वैज्ञानिक महोदय ने चिट्ठी के नीचे लिखा, जी हाँ, थॉमस एडिसन एक बुद्धू बच्चा था जिसे उसके माँ के विश्वास और समर्थन ने इतना बड़ा वैज्ञानिक बनाया। देवी और सज्जनों, हर व्यक्ति में किसी विशेष योग्यता, हुनर की आग छिपी हुई है। यदि विश्वास करने वाली कोई व्यक्ति माचिस की वो तीली मिल जाए ना, तो भीतर की आग बाहर निकलती है और विश्व कल्याण होता है। ढूंढिए किसी ऐसे व्यक्ति को जो आप में विश्वास करे, या बनिए वो माचिस की तीली जो किसी के भीतर छिपी उस आग को दहकाए।
If you want more Gaur Gopal Das, check out the top 50 rules video I made on him. The link is right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
You will have to make one choice. You're not going to be spared by life. You will always have to make one choice.